And of course, nowhere is that more true than in housing. Now, we've been talking for years about the Liberal housing crisis, and they doubled the cost. They priced an entire generation out of homes. They did this through out-of-control money printing and immigration, which inflated demand, and funding local bureaucracies and high taxes that block construction and supply. That's nothing new. You say, well, of course we have a housing crisis after 10 years of Liberals. There's nothing new in that. But I'm here today to talk about the next Liberal housing crisis. So this crisis has changed into something new and even worse than there was before. They first inflated the housing bubble, and now Liberals are bursting the housing bubble. The bubble is bursting, and it is hemorrhaging jobs and construction right across the country. Nowhere worse than here in Ontario. The facts are staggering. First of all, let's start with the promise that he would double home building. Well, according to Mr. Carney's own housing agency, home building is expected to plummet by 13% over the next 2 years. But here in the GTA, year over year, it is down 49%. In Kelowna, it's down 36%. Pre-sales are down 48%, and they are 82% below the 10-year average. You talk to home builders in the GTA today, and they will tell you this is the worst they have ever seen it in generations. I've talked to home builders that have been in this business for 50 years, and they say they have never witnessed this kind of carnage in the housing sector. What does this mean? It means that not only will there be a shortage of homes because they're not getting built, but soon there will be mass layoffs. And we're already seeing it. The Canadian Home Builders say that Canadian Home Builders Associations say that 35% of their members are already laying people off. The Residential Construction Council says that the sector is already laying off thousands of people. And that's happening mostly in the Greater Toronto area, where unemployment is already facing near record highs. We see nationwide 86,000 fewer people working today than when Mr. Carney took office. And in the summer alone, July and August, we lost 106,000 jobs, a staggering number, to give us the second highest unemployment rate in the G7. Here's the crisis that is going to unfold. If these trades workers lose their jobs, we may never get them back. They will have to move to find work. They may leave the housing sector altogether. And then 3 years from now, the housing shortage will be even worse than it is right now. Mr. Carney has accomplished the impossible. It is a triple crisis, with prices too high for buyers to buy, too low for sellers to sell, and inadequate for builders to build. How can all those things be true? How is it that it's too high to buy but too low to build? Well, the answer is that most of the money is going to government. 30% of the cost of a new home in Ontario today is direct taxes. 50%, as much as 50%, is related to land use regulations. In Vancouver today, fully 60% of the cost of a new home is government. Taxes, charges, delays, fees, lawyers, accountants. More money for a new home goes to bureaucrats in government buildings than goes to the carpenters, electricians, and plumbers who actually build the home. Now, governments keep talking about how they have these wonderful plans for home building. You know what they need to do? Only one thing. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. These men and women back here, they know how to build homes. They know how to frame a house, to swing a hammer, to lay a foundation, to prepare the land. They know how to build homes. We have great home builders who know how to build homes. The only thing they need is permission. But they can't get it because of slow bureaucracy and blocking things from going ahead. And so today, Conservatives, we're not just going to oppose Mark Carney and Liberal failures. We're not just going to hold them accountable for the liberal immigration crisis, the liberal cost of living crisis, the liberal crime crisis, and the liberal jobs crisis. We're actually going to propose solutions. As we go back to Parliament, we want Mark Carney and the Liberals to steal our best ideas so that we can reverse the damage that they have done. And so today I join with my Shadow Minister of Housing, Scott Aitchison, to call for the Liberals to immediately reverse the policies that have caused this new housing crisis with a 4-point plan. 1, axe the federal sales tax for all home buyers. I hear someone over here is giving a round of applause. She might be buying a home soon. For all home buyers, not just first-time home buyers, and for homes up to $1.3 million. 2, axe the capital gains tax on any monies reinvested in home building. So if a business or an individual sells an asset, they enjoy a capital gain, but they reinvest it in home building, there should be no capital gains tax. This will cause a building boom right across the country. 3, incentivize municipalities to free up land, speed up permits, and cut their own development charges. The Prime Minister claimed that he was going to cut development charges nationwide by half. Since he took office, those charges have actually gone up. I'm calling for the Prime Minister to put the resources in the budget so that we can incentivize municipalities to cut the taxes they charge on building new homes. And 4th, get immigration under control. We can no longer add people 3 times faster than we add homes. We're going to continue to have shortages. These 4 steps will reverse the liberal housing hell, the disaster that has destroyed the dream of home ownership over the last 10 years. We are prepared to work with any party that will adopt these common sense ideas so that we can unleash a real building boom in this country that will mean bigger paychecks for our trades workers, our realtors, mortgage brokers, suppliers. All of them will benefit. The much suffering logging industry will have new demand for its products. So will the steel and aluminum producers have a new market right here at home. You know the great thing about home building? It's Trump-proof. You can't claim that Donald Trump is to blame for housing that happens here because he cannot put tariffs on housing that we keep in our own country. It is, by definition, a homegrown industry. So when we're facing a losing trade war with China, with the United States, and with others, why not build more here at home? Most of the materials that go in these homes are Canadian materials. We have the land, the labor, and the lumber. And there's no foreign government that can tariff the construction of a Canadian home. This should be the #1 priority. Get building here. Nobody can stop us from doing it. And that's why we're calling on the government to adopt our plan for a new home building boom right across this country by removing the taxes, the red tape, making this the fastest and easiest place to get approved to build a home that will be a wonderful refuge for young families starting out and that will give big, powerful paychecks for our trades workers across this country. Our purpose, as always, is stronger take-home pay, safer streets, solid borders in a self-reliant country, a country where hard work pays off with a beautiful home, good meat and potatoes on the dinner table in a secure neighborhood with a wonderful Canadian flag hanging off the front porch. Thank you very much. Now let's get it done. The money from a home today does not go to the buyer, the seller, or the builder. It goes to the government. We have to, it's like today, right now, the housing costs are too low for builders to build and too high for buyers to buy. And you would say, well, how could it be both of those things? Well, because the lion's share is going to the government. It doesn't go to these guys. The guys who swing the hammers back here, they're not getting the money. The money is going to government bureaucrats, municipally, provincially, and federally. And what I'm saying is, let's cut the government cost out of housing. Get rid of the sales tax, cut the development charges in half, speed up the permits, zero tax on reinvested gains. If you get the government cost out of building homes, then the buyer, the seller, and the builder will all be winners at the same time.
Good morning, Mr. Poilievre. Nitin Chopra from Hashtag.
Good to see you.
Parliament is opening soon, and you wrote a letter to Prime Minister Carney that to-do list from all the crises, from immigration crisis to the housing crisis to the crime crisis and to the job loss crisis, all the crises are there. So my question is, Canada, we gave billions of dollars, 22 billion plus $25 billion to Ukraine. How justified is that when our own people are struggling high time, big time, because since last couple of years, you are also highlighting the crisis and crisis and crisis. So how to fix Canada first? We have not seen the Canada first approach by any of the political party. Canada first, we have seen that other countries are coming first. Taxpayers' money are going out of country. How justified is that? Thank you.
Well, the best way to put Canada first while helping Ukraine is to sell our oil and gas in Europe. The reason Putin can fund his war is because he has a near monopoly on Western European oil and gas purchases. If we had the Energy East pipeline, we could be selling 1 million barrels of Canadian oil to Europe every single day. If we immediately approved LNG plants, we could liquefy tens of billions of dollars of natural gas and send it to Europe to fully displace the Russian sales of gas into that continent and put it into Canadian paychecks. So Mark Carney and the Liberals have blocked every single LNG project that has been put before them. And as a result, we only have one plant. It's on the West Coast, approved by Stephen Harper. You want to defund Putin and squeeze out all the money that he's using to fund the war, then let's immediately start approving pipelines, LNG plants, export terminals, and send tens of billions of dollars of clean, ethical Canadian natural gas and oil to Europe. Instead of the money going to Putin's war machine, it will go to the trades workers in this country. That is how you put Canada first. It is really sad what has happened to the immigration system over the last decade. Before this Liberal government, there was a consensus. Canadians welcomed immigrants in generous numbers, but in numbers that we could absorb. We had enough housing, healthcare, and jobs for people who came in. Everyone integrated well, lived in beautiful neighborhoods side by side, all different faces from different places and races getting along in harmony. It's incredible to think, we had the system of immigration that was the envy of the world. Literally, other countries from all around the world said, how did Canada do it? 10 years of Liberal government, the rest of the world is looking at us and saying, how did the Liberals screw this up so badly? They've been adding people 3 times faster than homes and jobs, which has created shortages. They brought in too many too fast. They've allowed massive abuses of the international student, temporary foreign worker, and asylum claim system with rampant fraud that happened right under their nose. And as a result, our youth can't find jobs or homes. And so it is very sad that the Liberals have been able to destroy the system so badly in such a short time. Mark Carney promised to be different. Instead, he's worse. He's kept Justin Trudeau's immigration numbers. He's allowing corporations to bring in a record number of temporary foreign workers this year at a time when youth employment numbers are their worst in 3 decades. So while our young people can't find jobs, employers are able to exploit temporary foreign workers by giving them lower wages and terrible working conditions. Let me be clear. Immigrants are not to blame for this mess. They simply followed the rules that the Liberals created, or the lack of rules. They just want to have a better life. And in many cases, they are the victims of a system that abuses and rips them off at the same time as destabilizing our housing, job market, and social services. So the blame does not rest with immigrants or with the broader Canadian population. It is 100% the result of reckless and irresponsible Liberal decisions. Our approach will be to end the temporary foreign worker program so that Canadian jobs go to Canadian workers, to bring the numbers down, bring in the right numbers and the right people to fill jobs we actually need to have filled, for which there are no Canadians, to keep criminals out of this country by having stronger security standards at our borders, and always and everywhere to put Canada first in all of our immigration decisions. Thank you.